I'm Vijay Vaitheeswaran, correspondent for The Economist and co-author of Zoom, the global race to fuel the car of the future. I believe that the world is on the cusp of a clean energy revolution. I believe that the crossroads that we're at show that the current world, the energy world that has served us well in the 20th century, is unsustainable for three reasons: energy and poverty, energy and environment, energy and geopolitics. These are the three pillars of instability. There are almost 2 billion people on Earth who have no reliable access to modern energy. That's a human tragedy. The link between energy and climate change will be one of the great changes and drivers of change in the energy system in this century. And the link between energy and geopolitics is becoming ever clearer as a rising India and China seek their own energy security in a quest for oil and the potential conflict in the Middle East that arises from that. For these three reasons, these pillars of instability, I argue the current energy paradigm must change. And indeed, I argue it is already beginning to change. Here too, there are three megatrends that argue that the energy revolution is already underway. And even in the midst of today's crisis, including the financial crisis, there is more opportunity today than there has been in 100 years in the energy environment world. Indeed, we're entering a golden age of innovation of the sort we haven't seen since Henry Ford, Nikola Tesla, and Thomas Edison invented the 20th century automobile, electricity, and energy industries. They forged entirely new business models, new kinds of technologies, and ultimately delivered new services. That's the world we're entering now. Why do I believe this? First of all, of course, from crisis comes opportunity, a new way of thinking about energy, away from the conventional, standard, centralized fossil fuel paradigm, the 100-year-old combination of the internal combustion engine and gasoline that has kept us going but has also gotten us into so much trouble, is about to change. One force for change is the liberalization of markets, which is the essential enabler of innovation in these, the least innovative big businesses on Earth. We're now finally seeing the opportunity in energy, and even in cars, for the two guys in the garage who created Hewlett-Packard or Google. Well, those types of innovators are now getting into smart grid technologies, energy storage, starting up the electric car companies of tomorrow, and we're seeing that innovation. So that is the first enabler of change. The second megatrend, a new, smarter kind of environmentalism from Beijing to Brasilia to Boston, which includes a kind of market-based environmentalism, an embrace of things like pollution taxes and externalities taxes, of trading systems like SO2 trading, which the US pioneered. This market-friendly approach to seeing environmentalism and markets as a solution and a friend of the environment, and business as part of the solution. That gets beyond a 1970s paradigm where it was us versus them, where business was the enemy and environmentalists took the moral high ground. We're seeing a much more pragmatic approach, and I think that's much more helpful. And also, from the point of economics, getting out the last 5% of a pollutant can be much more expensive than getting out the first 50% at the margin. So we need the smarter common sense tools of economics, like cost-benefit analysis and trading and taxation. That's the world we're in. And the final point, the great megatrend of this century, is technological innovation. We're seeing a confluence of technologies ranging from energy storage and material science and lightweight materials to smart grid technologies. The kind of revolution we saw in IT and biotechnology is finally coming to energy technology, and the effects will be profound. The clean energy revolution is here.